Hi, my name is Devin Ratoosh, and I'm a real estate agent specializing in the East Bay. Today, I wanted to tell you about why a seller wouldn't necessarily choose the highest offer. And right now, we're in a seller's market. There are several buyers for every home that is currently available. And with that, we often end up in a situation where a seller is looking at multiple offers and they're trying to decide which one to take, which buyer is going to buy their house. And there's a few considerations with this. Obviously, the first one is the price. These sellers are often counting on this money to pay medical bills, to buy their next home, maybe to fund their retirement. And so obviously that's very important to them. I'd say the highest offer is the one that's accepted probably 80 to 90% of the time. So getting away from the purchase price, the next consideration is the terms of the offer. And with this, we're talking about contingencies, whether that's the inspection, the appraisal, the loan contingency, and also the timelines for those contingencies. Also loan amounts, deposit amounts, down payment amounts. It all factors into the decision. Each one holds a weight, some more than others, but each one is important. And so a seller will look at all of those things as well, aside from the purchase price, and make a determination with that. It is worth something. I've seen a seller, usually in this market, not having contingencies is usually worth about $20,000 to a seller. And obviously that depends on what the other terms and what the overall picture looks like. But I have seen sellers take less to kind of secure themselves against that risk. And last consideration is the sentimental value. I mean, these people a lot of times have built their life in these houses. Often in the Bay Area, we find people, they stick around, and so they've been here 15, 20, 30 years. These houses mean something to them, and they want to feel that the next buyer is going to have it mean as much for them as it did for the past seller. And so that is an important component. A lot of times what will happen is a buyer will write a letter to the seller just talking about who they are, what they love about the house, why it's perfect for them, just to try to make that connection. And often, I mean, it's our job as real estate brokers to say, look at the letter, but don't let that affect your decision. This is a financial decision. That's why you hire us, to get you the most money. And so that is a consideration, but I have seen sellers take less. A lot of times the sentimental value can be more significant than just the financial. And so I've seen sellers take up to $40,000 less just because they felt they connected with one buyer more than the other. So while it doesn't always make a difference, it can. So I always recommend that buyers put that letter together, and of course be genuine. I mean, don't make stuff up. Be who you are, but it can help an offer. So that's a very short explanation of what's going on there and kind of the ideas behind it. But if there's anything else you need, always feel free to get in touch. You can call, email, text me. I'm always happy to help.